We're ready. I'm about to walk in. You good? Yep.
Big team. Big team. That's right. It's federal, state, and local partners. Well, first of all, thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm joined by a number of people. DEA Special Agent in Charge, Gerard Forget from Washington, D.C., members of DEA's High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Group 51, including the Baltimore City Police Department, representatives from, we've got Chief Awad and the Anne Arundel County Police Department, Maryland Transportation Authority Police, and the Laurel Police Department, as we announce the indictment of 6 individuals for their participation in an interstate cocaine trafficking conspiracy from Houston, Texas to Baltimore County, Maryland. The individuals are charged with as many as 21 counts, including drug kingpin, participation in a criminal organization, volume dealer, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, use of firearms in a drug trafficking crime, drug proceeds, and related charges. The individuals indicted and pending trial are as follows: 39-year-old LaTrava Kinney of Houston, 45-year-old Lawrence Knowles of Houston, 49-year-old Jason Rhodes of Houston, 42-year-old Medford Smith of Baltimore, 43-year-old Sherrod Stokes of Baltimore, and 47-year-old Maurice Farmer of Baltimore. I want to make clear that a criminal indictment is merely an allegation of wrongdoing, and these individuals are presumed innocent unless and until the state proves their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The investigation, which was led by the DEA's High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Group 51, with assistance from the Attorney General's Organized Crime Unit, revealed that at least as early as July of 2022 through October of 2022, LaTrava Kinney, Lawrence Knowles, and Jason Rhodes were serving as narcotics and money couriers for a national drug trafficking organization to traffic multi-kilogram quantities of cocaine from Texas to Baltimore County. Investigators witnessed Kinney, Knowles, and Rhodes make regular trips from Houston to Baltimore, where they would then offload large quantities of narcotics into a safe house that was being maintained by the organization. The narcotics were then picked up by local distributors, Medford Smith and Sherrod Stokes, before being transported to new locations where they were broken down for street-level distribution across Baltimore County. As a result of the ongoing narcotics trafficking, detectives executed search and seizure warrants at multiple stash locations and on vehicles used by the drug trafficking organization. Detectives recovered 15 kilograms of cocaine, 400 grams of crack cocaine, 10 firearms, including 2 assault-style rifles and a Glock 30 handgun that was altered with an auto sear that converted it into an automatic weapon. Over $493,000 of narcotics proceeds and narcotics production equipment. Each kilo has a street value estimated at $30,000 to $35,000. In total, detectives recovered narcotics from this criminal organization with a street value of roughly $500,000. In the last decade, we have witnessed a 500% increase in the number of cocaine-related deaths in Maryland. The seizure of these drugs in this case and the indictment of these individuals serve as a reminder that our office will work with our partners, both locally and federally, to dismantle and disrupt violent criminal organizations and stop individuals who are trafficking these deadly substances and wreaking havoc on our communities. I want to thank our organized crime chief, Katie Dorian, Assistant Attorney General Megan Green, Assistant Attorney General Nancy Frigo, and the members of the DEA High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Group 51. Also, we appreciate the support of the Baltimore County Police Department, the Maryland State Police, the Baltimore County Sheriff's Office, the Howard County Police Department, and Baltimore County State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger for his office's assistance in this investigation. And I now introduce DEA Special Agent Gerard Farget.
Thank you, Attorney General Brown, and good morning to our state and local partners and members of the press. Illegal drug distribution affects the very foundation of our families and communities. Every time we take illegal drugs like cocaine and firearms off the streets, we are saving lives. I'm very grateful for the hard work of the DEA teams, the Maryland Attorney General's Office, and our law enforcement partners with whom we're able to execute these arrests, seize illegal drugs and firearms from this violent drug trafficking organization. Operations like this one are an example of how our collaborative efforts are working. We are making a difference in our communities, cutting violent crime, stopping violent drug traffickers in their tracks, and keeping our local families safe. As stated in the indictment, this is a case that crosses several local and state jurisdictions. This investigation resulted in the seizure of cocaine that was delivered to Baltimore County, Maryland, from Houston, Texas. As most of you know, cocaine is not manufactured in the United States. It is grown and manufactured in South America and transported by Mexican cartels to all four corners of our country. Let me be clear. The Mexican cartels are here and their drugs are here in Maryland. They do not care about the well-being of our citizens, and they are flooding and poisoning our neighborhoods with drugs like cocaine, meth, heroin, and especially fake pills faced with fentanyl. And the nexus between cartels and violent crime is unfortunately ever so prevalent. We will continue to work with our local and state partners to interdict the distribution of illegal drugs and firearms whenever it may occur, and bring to justice those responsible. The DEA is committed to ensuring that these unscrupulous drug trafficking organizations do not take advantage of our children, terrorize our communities, or poison our citizens. Thank you. Now I'll turn it back to AG Brown.
And we'll open it up for any questions.
What does a bust like this mean for the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland?
Look, one of the things that we know in this and so many other investigations, whether it's from out of state, whether we're executing search warrants in Baltimore County or wherever else, Baltimore City is at the intersection of much of the organized crime, the drug trafficking, the gun trafficking that we're seeing. So as Governor Moore and I made a commitment on day one of his administration, Baltimore will be a priority for us, working with local law enforcement in Baltimore City, working with the state's attorney, working with the mayor's office to disrupt this violent, unlawful, dangerous activity in the city of Baltimore. And in doing so, we're not only going to improve the safety here in the city, but in surrounding communities. But Baltimore City is an intersection of much of this activity. Today we report on arrests and indictments made in Baltimore County, those that are from out of state, but certainly Baltimore City seems to be at the intersection of much of what we do to fight crime in the state of Maryland.
Do you foresee having any more arrests coming in this case or future cases?
I'll turn that over.
So the investigation, as far as this case is concerned, parts of it are still ongoing, so we can't comment on it any further at this time.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.